I just told them, to be honest with them, we needed to show up and start a little faster than that, and little details got us beat. I know the guys are kind of tired of hearing that. I'm tired of saying that, but that's what it is, and we got to do little things a little bit better and get this much better, and we'll keep pushing to do it.
Scott, fourth and goal, no one. Did you guys consider going under center in that situation?
We did. I've watched every snap of their tape this year, and they've done a pretty good job against sneak. There's kind of another reason I didn't feel great about that play right then. I think he'd have been in if he hadn't stumbled in the backfield. So I think we were in the right thing. Didn't execute very well.
How big of a loss was it to have Ramir leave the game 2 plays before then, and how's he doing?
I wasn't concerned. Ramir will be fine. Wasn't that concerned about that because we've gotten some good play from some other guys. We just didn't execute that one very well.
On the 4th and 5, did you consider going for it before sending out Connor Cole?
We talked about it a lot on the headset, and at that point I thought making the field goal only being down 2, the way we were playing on offense, that we'd get it back down there to have another chance at a field goal, and we would have if we'd have made that one. I'm kind of scratching my head with that one because we make a 50-yarder, then miss a PAT, So we got to be more consistent there. But we definitely talked about trying to go for it, and we did go for it on 4th down a couple times.
You had the ball 4 times in the second half, a chance to take the lead. I guess just like how frustrating is it to come up with 0 in those four chances? Yeah,
when you play a team like this, first of all, if you're ahead, you're in good shape. And the game didn't start very well for us. We had a couple guys open on the first drive and didn't connect and punted to them, and they went down and scored. And so we were playing catch-up the whole first half, and, they're going to snap the ball with 2 on the play clock, and you're not going to get a lot of opportunities. So we got to, as a staff, get them a little more juiced up to play. I didn't think we had quite the same energy, and that's on us. And then we had every opportunity to be in control of the game after the third quarter.
Did they throw any wrinkles at you offensively in the first half, or what do you chalk up the defensive kind of the?
Yeah, I give credit to them. They had 2 weeks to look at us, and I thought they did a good job. In the first half especially, they were grinding us out in the run game and then hitting some hard sell RPOs and play actions off of that. And we didn't really have an answer in the first half. Thought they did a great job adjusting in the second half, and they were the better team in the first half. I thought we were the better team in the second, and got to get those balls in the end zone when we get them down there.
The offense has had pretty consistent, inconsistent issues all season, maybe for a couple of years now. Now that you have a bye week, do you try to do anything midstream that can change some of the trajectory of your offense, struggling with just the same kind of issues over and
over? Yeah, all I know how to do is keep detailing, try to put the kids in the best play as possible, and keep detailing. We had 2 false starts today. The one really hurt us. It was 3rd and 5. We had a run play call that I felt really good about. Even if you don't get the first down there, you're going to have a 4th and short. So felt, and we kind of called 1st and 2nd down based on that. And then all of a sudden you're in 3rd and 10. So that hurt one drive, missed a field goal on another, and got stopped on the 1 yard line. That's the game.
Did it surprise you that the first half coming out a little flat? And did you sense? When did you sense that?
I didn't know whether to be worried about that or not. The guys have been so professional and working so hard and preparing so well, and they did that all week again. It felt businesslike rather than a lot of hype, and I didn't know whether to be concerned about that or not because the guys have showed up ready to go all year, probably other than the first game, but they were mentally ready to go in that one too. And there wasn't as much juice, but we got more of a veteran team now that I figured would it looked businesslike, just not. It wasn't as much juice as we've had the last 2 weeks. We needed more juice, obviously, in the first half. For 2 weeks we've been playing in the best environment in college football, and the juice kind of comes along with that, and we needed to bring it ourselves today. And I don't think it was terrible, but we lost a lot of one-on-one battles in the first half. A missed tackle here, a missed protection here. You know, a lot of plays that just kind of one-on-one things, and you know, maybe a little more juice helps with that.
What's got to go different to prevent that safety from happening in that situation?
Well, I got to protect a little longer. We had Samari open down the seam. He had 2 quick options on the right, and then a couple deeper options on the left. I couldn't tell. Have to look at this tape to see if he can step up or not. But you definitely don't want to drift back into the end zone. You know, that was a huge play, and we got to protect a little more consistently than we have all year. Because when we protect, you saw on the next drive, we protected well and went right down the field. And that's really how we want to play, with that kind of attack mentality. And it's tough to do if you're getting a sack for safety. So we got to be a little better, just a little better.
You and Trev, I think, have both mentioned about, you know, guys, they need to see the reward of the work they put in. You've lost 5 games by 1 score. Do you worry about that now with 2 weeks before your next one, about where they're at coming out of this one?
No, we're all upset. I want this for the kids first. I want it for Nebraska second. I'm at the end of the list. These kids won't quit. We got too many good kids and too many good players, and you know, they need a break. It has been a grind. That's not an excuse. Minnesota did more good things than us today, but they need a break, and I know they'll come back strong.
What have the last 48 hours been like for the program and for Eric in particular, with losing his dad the way he did?
Yeah, it's been emotional. You know, I've known Eric since 2007. We lived together in Cedar Falls. I've known his dad since then. His dad was a coach just like mine. My parents and his were good friends, and he's a good man. I know he would have wanted Eric to be here. That's why Eric was here. He would have wanted to see Eric win today, and I got to be a little better. Everybody's got to be a little better, but it's not easy, and the whole team and the whole Husker family is there for him.
player with JoJo Dillman. More questions, go ahead.
Jojo, what was the difference in the second half? You had a good grip on things. What in the first half? Did they have some wrinkles they threw at you, or what did you see out there?
Yeah, we knew like the first 15 plays were going to give us everything that they had, and we just settled in and we just did our assignments, and we were playing angry, chip on our shoulder, and knowing that the first half was BS. So yeah, we just need to start like that.
How much about that first half was juice or getting up for it or 8 straight games or any of that sort of stuff?
I mean, yeah, you could point blame to a lot of different aspects, and ultimately it's just on us. Like, it's on the leaders, it's on the coaches, it's on the players. Like, we're better than that, and we didn't show it.
I'm sure it was an emotional 48 hours with defenders for things bigger than football, as Coach Schneider's dad. But how difficult was that, and how much, I guess you mean to you guys and all that?
Yeah, it just really just puts things into perspective how, football is amazing and football is life, but also there's so much more to life. And my heart goes out to Coach and his family, and respect the hell out of them for sticking with us and coaching with us. That's a warrior, and so not the result we wanted, but we fought for him.
How tough was demoralizing was that on the sideline after, it's kind of going your way and that's the fourth down stand where Deant doesn't get in? And did you see guys sink on the sideline, or what were you seeing down there at that moment?
Yeah, we just want to score or go up. And we didn't. And then the next time we're down there, we get a fourth down and we kick a field goal and we miss it. Just got to score, It's a game of stops and scores. We started to get some momentum, and then we didn't put the nail in the coffin.
As a defense, you guys talk a lot about forcing takeaways, and 2 big ones today with interceptions. How good was that to see?
Yeah, that's our job. It was great. More turnovers, give our offense good field position, gain some momentum. We need more of that.
How much of the second half was about schematic adjustments, and how much was it just playing with more emotion, more energy, like you're talking about?
It was both. We knew what they were giving us. They went in unbalanced, I don't know the statistics, but got to be 75% of the time in the second half. And that's just because we started to take away what they do well. Once we rattled them and had 2 picks, they shut down. Plain and simple. They shut down and just ran the ball. And that's what we wanted. We just got to find a way to win. We keep finding ways to lose. It's crazy. All of us are part of it, which is the humbling thing about it. You can't just point blame at somebody or someone. Extreme ownership on accounts of everybody in our program, and that's what we need to, digest this and move forward.
Last question for Jojo.
Scott said he thought you guys were pretty business-like all week, and he didn't say that was a bad thing necessarily. He was not sure how to read it. Were you worried at all about not having juice early on or coming into this game, or what did you see from guys throughout the week leading into it?
Yeah, we're going on our 8th game. They just came off a bye week, so that's just the fact of the matter. And you can assume anything you want about that, but it is what it is. They came out ready to play. We didn't, and we played catch up the rest of the game. It was too late.
Thank you, guys. No player shortly.
Couple guys in the hallway. Questions?
Adrian, how demoralizing, or what did you see from guys after the drive that was stopped on basically the 1-inch line there?
I wouldn't at that point say it was demoralizing. I would say we were obviously disappointed, but more, we know we can move it on these guys, so we're going to get another opportunity. Let's go make it happen. That was more the talk, the mindset on the sideline. It wasn't, wasn't that.
Do you think you were in the end zone on the previous play?
I definitely did. Gonna have to go back and watch it on the tape, and obviously they didn't think there was enough there to rule it a touchdown. I know one of my feet were across the line. I figured I was in there, but I can't control that. Just have to play the next play.
How hard did you lobby on that 4th and 5 to go for it instead of kicking?
Well, it's not my choice, right? Obviously the players always feel like they can make plays, and that's no matter the circumstance. So either way, we had confidence in Culp to make that kick, confidence in ourselves to get that 4th down if called on.
8 games in 8 weeks. How you feeling, and what's your bye week going to look like as far as getting healthy?
Yeah, not entirely sure what the bye week will look like. I know we gonna need some time off as a team a little bit, get our bodies going again, and mentally, physically recuperate and get ready to attack our last portion of the season here. For us, we're still not discouraged, but there's some evaluation we're going to have to do and fix some things.
It's probably the first defense that's been able to kind of prevent the big scramble from you. What did Minnesota's defense show you out there today that prevented that? What was challenging about that?
Yeah, they had a solid pass rush. They were able to get up the field really well, and at times I had more confidence in checking the ball down than necessarily scrambling. Sometimes that's the way it goes. Sometimes those opportunities aren't there for you. And today I didn't think those opportunities were there. They also had a couple spies on some 3rd downs. They did a good job of mixing things up.
On the safety, just which from your viewpoint, how would you explain what happened on that play?
Yeah. First part of my read was to the field. Felt that was covered, moved on to the boundary side, and didn't necessarily see what I wanted to, so I was looking to escape. Hindsight, probably should have stepped up in the pocket. I'm going to review the tape on that one and get it fixed. At that point, I was trying to get rid of the ball, didn't want to get sacked in the end zone. The result was the same. So.
Well, you're not a coach, and you're very high on the pecking order of how this offense runs. In your opinion, what has kept you guys from finishing games over the last 8 games, and what do you want to see worked on in the bye week to get it better?
Yeah. It's tough. We just need to continue to get better. It's hard to point at one thing besides executing down there. There's 11 guys on the offensive side, and one guy can't make a mistake, right? Everyone's got to be on the same page, the amount of detail, attention to detail, and that's something we've been working on. It's something we know is a focal point for us. So we just have to keep pushing forward, have to continue to work on those things and go from there.
Obviously, a guy does not want to slip when he gets to the goal line. But when you see that and you see a guy, it looked like it was going to be a touchdown because of slip. What's going through your mind?
Yeah, sort of what I was talking about earlier. It definitely was disappointing, but not demoralizing. It's football, man, and some guys make mistakes. We got to continue to play through them. I know Yant would want that one back, and we would as well, but you can't really explain that. I mean, what are you going to do about that? So, yeah.
Did you see teams go more out of the gun after the 1-yard line than they used to? I mean, from a guy who's played as long as you have, could you kind of give the reasoning there? Because there's all sorts of people watching and say, well, why don't you go into the center in that situation? I know it's not your call, but...
Yeah. Well, I'll say this. For a team that's predominantly shotgun, we do work on under center snaps. We do have QB sneaks, things like that. But there are exchange problems you could worry about, and it takes repetition from running backs. It's hitting the hole is different out of the gun than it is when you're under center. You're in different landmarks, different aiming points for handoffs, things like that, and those things have to be worked, and that takes time out of practice. Now, look, I play on the team, and we run what is called. So not sure. Maybe that's something we explore. Maybe it isn't. But we feel confident in what we had called there, and I'm sure we would do it again and have faith in our guys.
Thank you, Adrian. Thanks, Adrian. Yeah. Cam, second half defensively to the first half. I mean, you shut them down most second half.
We had to flip the switch and wake up. The whole defense, man, and I'm not just even talking about myself. I'm talking about everybody on the team, man. Everybody just got to wake up. You know, we've been playing, you know, the night games, and everybody got to sleep in and this and that. I don't feel like everybody was awake and, you know, just ready to play this 11 o'clock game. So coming out the second half, I was just on everybody's head, like, wake up, let's go out here and play our football, and, you know, it showed.
Was it an intense halftime kind of about like?
Most definitely it was. We had to flip it.
At what point did you kind of realize guys weren't awake? Did you see that in warm-ups? Was that not till
Saw it when we woke up this morning. That's when I saw it. Even Coach saw it. Yeah, he called it out, tried to address it, you know, ahead of time, and, you know, hurry up and do it.
How did you see it this morning after you woke up that you just weren't awake for the game?
I wouldn't say anybody was late or anything. You could feel the energy of a team. Once you have, you know, a lot of brothers around you, you know, when your brother is up. Like, and I felt, you know, some of us weren't up.
How much about the second half was schematic adjustments, just scheme stuff, or was it all energy in your mind?
Energy and scheme, I could say. You saw a different team when we came back out there halftime. Everybody flying around, you know. We just got to wrap up on them tackles, you know, like we were doing in that second half, and, you know, coming to fight every down.
Doing the talking at halftime? Was that a coach-led thing?
Coaches don't get to talk if we don't let them, honestly, because we want to, you know, us as leaders, we want to, you know, be on the side with our teammates, you know, and let everybody know that we see what's going on and we're out there with you. We're going to fight with you. Just put your best foot forward and, you know, go 110%. Don't stop.
Is it hard to almost sometimes get your head around this team? I mean, you're in all these kind of games and different things sort of pop up each week. How do you look at that?
I don't know how you could look at it, honestly. We always come close, and close isn't enough for, you know, the record book. It's either a W or a L, and it continues to be L, so we need to switch that over to some W's.
Two more for Cam.
Obviously a tough stretch with Coach Nander and his dad. How do you guys as a team process that, and did that, I don't know, factor into how you guys played or maybe how you dedicated anything today or anything like that?
It's not a personal thing, you know, but I could say I personally did play for Coach. He's like a father. When there's times when I had stuff going on back home and, you know, I couldn't go back home, he was there for me. So once he lost his father, it hurt. It's pretty close. Yeah, you know, to the team, he loved us. You know, I always just talk good things about us. So, you know, we had to go out there. You know, he already talked to us ahead of the game. You know, just tell him how much he loves us, and we just had to go out there and, you know, give it our all. You know, we should have started, you know, a little earlier, though, man. Just a little bit earlier.
Came that pick you had on the first possession, it seemed to start to swing momentum. What kind of effort went into that to close as much as you did on that play in the end zone?
Yeah, I finally got the ball thrown to me. I could say that. Every time the ball thrown to me, I try to make a play. I try to do my job to the best of my ability. And when I'm done with my job, if it, you know, takes me to the plate, then let's be a playmaker and make that play. But, you know, just do my job.
Thank you, Cam.
Yes, sir.
We'll be done in here. There might be a couple guys out in the hallway. Thank you. Thanks, Cam. Good job.